It's time for some more Age of Mythology Retold casted games. I do have to press this button, otherwise I'm going to be moving at Pegasus scroll speed, and that is not going to be nice for anybody. We're all going to get headaches. Anyway, in the bottom side is Pegasus. He's ridiculously high APM and plays on super fast scroll, so that's why I had to quickly change that one. And in the top side is going to be Soup. So these guys have been playing on the ladder. Soup's been streaming, they've been playing against each other. And these guys are just two of my favorite ones to watch, honestly. Soup, we've shown so many of his games on this channel, and he has his own channel if you want to check it out. Pegasus also streams every now and again, but I think it's pretty rare. He's always in Twitch chat, and he's probably the best player that doesn't play in the tournaments. I think there's not really anybody that doesn't play tournaments that's close. Maybe him and Kido are the two best players that they just don't fancy it. People have got their lives going on, and you have to sacrifice kind of weekends and things to be able to do that one, so not wanting to do that. And Pegasus is playing Norse. Now you see here, he is going for what I call the Soup build order, but when I was casting with Boyd the other day, apparently this is the Pegasus build order, so I don't know whether they both thought of it at different times and they both did it, or somebody was before the other one and Soup popularized it and Pegasus came up with it, or maybe the other way around. But anyway, the idea is you move your gatherers over to the gold nice and early, and when you you build a dwarf, obviously, to start with. When you get enough for a temple, you whack that down. Gatherers come off, and then you start to build hearses early. Now, Celine Dion is going to be one of the hearses. I still have this pack on. Oh dear. I've actually had a random idea, and I don't even know whether it's possible, but I just want to get your guys' thoughts on it. So I have very kind people that subscribe to me on Twitch or our YouTube member. Would you like to become a hearser for that? I would need to figure out how to do it, but I'm sure somebody would know, because I say Celine Dion is not a normal hearser name. So let me know if that's something that you would like. Just a little shout out to people that support me watching this game that we all love. So over here, Grant 6 Monkeys is an amazing relic. I think either player would be happy with that one. Actually, we'll see what Pegasus sees, or Celine Dion. Looks like she's going... he's literally just missed this one. This is the rough thing about scouting for relics, is in a normal situation where you're not looking for relics, like, this doesn't matter. You've got Aurochs, you've got the berries, you've got the town center. But he's literally just missed this, and it's like min-maxing almost to a fault. Just a little bit rough. Charon's Obel here from Hercules is going to be found. That's a terrible one, but if you're going for this build, you basically just want every relic. It's like you don't even care what it is. If you see one, grab it, and that's what I like to go for. Especially against someone like Soup that likes to grab the relics. What I would even do is pull one away slightly. So what I would do with say this one is I would move it to here, so then Soup can't find it, and then go grab the other one. I do that sometimes. I don't think anyone's cottoned on to that yet, but spoiling my own strats. Maybe it's not worth it, but it feels good. Anyway, Soup on this side is going to be playing the Quetzalcoatl, and he has sacrificed a villager already. That's wild. What's he going for? Because he hasn't actually advanced yet. Okay, so he's going Quetzalcoatl. Now, this could be the bunny strat. Now, I said I casted a game with Boyd the other day, so we were casting some of his tournament for the Athens LAN qualifiers. And Soup played Quetzalcoatl against Tunison's Frey, and he went this bunny strat, where he went quite a few bunnies to deal with the non-hearsers of the Norse player, and it worked out really well. The issue is that Pegasus is going for basically the direct counter to that, which is all the hearsers. He could deal with the hearsers and then build them later, but I imagine that's what the immediate village sacrifice is about, because it slowly gathers the extra favor trickle as well. And looks like this villager stayed around for a little bit too long. No way to heal her up. If he is going for some sort of strategy like that, it'd just be worth sacrificing her. Maybe just drop off the 9 wood, sacrifice her before a hearser comes in and hits her once with a hammer, and she dies a painful death. The Valkyrie is going to try and come in as well. We'll see if that is going to happen. Oh, cow pulley. Yeah, nice play. It does get the lumber house, or lumber outpost, sorry, which you can garrison 5 units inside. I believe it's 5. Yes, so, and also grabbing a house next to it. Nice play. Where that's concerned, Warrior Priest does go down, though, and the Valkyrie is going to come back in, but I'm sure Soup will be on this one straight away. Yes, unfortunately, she was the furthest away, but she is kind of fine, and the bunny doesn't really have much to do. We don't know if this is Bunny strat. It could just be he wants all the upgrades. There's some sick upgrades with Quetzalcoatl where you do get a little bit of regen with one of the upgrades. So that could potentially be what he's going for. It's this one here. Something infusions. And the warrior priest kind of chilling. And Pegasus here putting so much pressure on. It's actually ridiculous. One villager does go down and a second one does not. He does trade a Hersa for one villager, which I think he'll be happy with the one Hersa trade. You don't want to be trading too much. There is a lot of HP lost here. I think Pegasus could just back up a little bit, heal from back here while he's attacking as well. And that is exactly what he's doing. Love to see it. As the Hersas do amazingly against his warrior priest. Warrior priest goes down again. Is it worth Soup getting watchtowers, or does that just push Pegasus away and then he goes back and builds a town center or something? That is always the issue. I know lots of people are always shouting out for towers, but that is often a high-level response. Is, well, you built towers, I'll just leave you alone. And now your towers get no value and I build a town center. And the map is tundra, so your town centers, if you build good ones, you know, they have gold mines on them, they have huntables on them. We'll see what both the players see. I imagine that Odin has spotted everything, and probably from the Ket side. Oh, he did everything except one band, so he's done all right. And Pegasus does leave to heal up. And you can see how much damage or just annoyance these relic monkeys had, which is did help Pegasus to get a kill. And maybe he's going to come back for a town center anyway. Maybe that's the plan. He has gone very hard on the dwarfs. He's gone for 10 dwarfs. Which is kind of a lot, but I know some players really like to go for all these dwarves. The only problem with it is you just end up with so much gold income. The other way to do it is just get slightly less and get pickaxe, but I would say Pegasus definitely knows what he's doing, and looks like he wants to go to the next age, potentially market and armory coming up. So something in the next stage is the plan of the Odin. While the relic monkey is just being annoying. Up on this side, Pegasus going full tryhard. And the bunnies are in. So that was the play. So after sacrificing the villager, I think it did make sense that is the play that he wants to do. Now the Shield Maiden Valkyrie is in, and this one is going to get caught off as well. Another villager pick from Pegasus. Absolutely huge, considering Soup did also sacrifice one of his own villagers earlier. So he's essentially lost 3 villagers here, which is rough. But the warrior priest should be able to defend if they know the Shield Maiden Valkyries are coming. You have to watch out for that one. Random house goes down. 45 wood to know that Soup is here. Pegasus will be more than happy with that. And it is going to be a Skadi. 730-ish click up on the Skadi. So relatively fast heroic age off of just having a few units. This Tequila Archer does need to kind of join up somewhere. Otherwise, he's going to get picked off. And Soup won't be happy about that one. Ocelot Warrior, though, is here to kind of bolster the Tequila Archer defense. But I think, yeah, another nice snipe from Pegasus. The problem is with these backline units is they're so weak to just any high base damage units like a Raider, like a Shield Maiden Valkyrie. So if they get caught with the pants down, they are they're gonna lose more often than not. Where does Soup go from here, though? I think he probably wants heroic age. He's 50 food off, which is unfortunate for him. He could have just jumped onto one turkey just to get himself there, but it looks like he doesn't want it anyway. He's changed his mind. Getting more Ocelot Warriors out, getting Medium Noble's Hut, and some more Warrior Priests as well, as he knows he's going to be up against a few Valkyries. There was a lot of Hersas out earlier, so they are gaining that passive favor, even if they aren't actively fighting the Hersas or the Valkyries. The Valkyries are definitely trying. So does have his turkey back here. I imagine he moved the cow pulley over. Yes, he did. One of the changes actually Soup managed to get in the game is pre-queuing your cow pulleys. He did put a request in to the devs and they obliged. So shout out to them, to the devs, for allowing that pre-queue option. And looks like there's a hill fort coming up for Pegasus, and Soup is going to spot this. This is nice timing from him. He's also in the shadows, which means that his jump out is going to be very, very strong. These guys, the bunnies, definitely need to get away from the Hersas. There is a Frost Giant behind, though, and with no Warrior Priests out, they're not going to be wanting to deal with this Frost Giant. But I guess you can just ignore the Frost Giant, go for everything else. That's what Soup's going for anyway. No Huskarls out, no Reading Cavalry out, and forces the Frost from Pegasus. I think Soup will be happy with that. This is the first trade that he's he's come out on top, basically. You don't want to be wasting your Heroic Age God power like that. The issue is that Pegasus can just spam units out, and this is the right unit to spam. The Berserks build probably the quickest out of any unit, and if he has 3 longhouses, he should be able to get all these units out within the next 19 seconds to have somewhat of a surround on this army. And the Frost Giant does get sent back. Hamas is the upgrade name? Hamas, yes. This does give you the tiny little boost against the bunnies. So the Berserks aren't too bad against bunnies, but it looks like the bunnies are actually slapping. Jeez. And the Soup to stand here and fight. I was expecting all the Pegasus units to come over, but they were kind of distracted with everything else. And now the Kiwa archers can just tear down these villages so quickly. But the Huskarls will start to spawn with defenders' advantage from this hill fort. But what does Soup do here? Does he just sacrifice the units? Does he keep going? He's going to tailwind out. Should be able to hit some of these Berserks on the retreat. Doesn't even want to. Just says, I'm out. I've traded my Archaic Age God power for your Frost. That was a low value Frost, but I think it's something that Pegasus, he needed to do in that situation. Relic Monkey's chilling over here, waiting for Soup to come over for the Caribou, but he is not listening. He's sticking to his own script. Feathered armor coming through, which is like bronze, copper armor, sorry. And flint weapons, which is like copper weapons. And I think there was another bunny spawn. More bunnies coming in. So he's really sticking on this bunny train. Three bunnies. Or 3 groups of bunnies, I guess. There's 3 here, 2 here. And I think he's spawned with 2. So this one's just got an extra head. So many low HP dwarves here, and the Frost Giant getting a little bit lost. I think he basically sacrificed his life to freeze that bunny, but did actually manage to get it, but there's no other units here. In certain times, a Frost is like a little bit of a death sentence when you get frozen by those Frost Giants, but not to be the case here. And there's lots of blue units coming in, and that is going to be Pegasus with all the Berserks. And these are scary raiders. You'll see how much damage they do to these. Nice bit of garrison micro, but you can see how much damage they do to the villagers. They just attack so quick. They're very fragile. That is the kind of downside of them, but the amount of damage they do as raiders is ridiculous. On the side, Soup taking down a longhouse. So both sides just, I want to attack, not defend. And these 8 villagers will be able to get away nicely. And now Berserk's looking for something more. What are they looking for down this way? Looks like they are going to spot a medium to Kiwa archer that all the boys, though, all the Ocelot warriors are going to jump after. And that should be enough, at least, to scare Pegasus away. But he has distracted. Soup was on the aggression. He's 1 age behind, which means he's had more resources to spend on army. So Pegasus getting some damage done and distracting. He'll be more than happy with that little engagement of his Berserks. But where does Soup go now? Does he just carry on? Looks like he's got the resources to just spam out more archers or grab himself a town center even. I don't know about a 13-minute town center though, unless that's something that he's thought about with his Quetzalcoatl or just full classical spam. But sees the units. He could just spam up to 175 pop or close to it and then build a town center after that. Could be an option. The issue is he's dealing with the Huskarls now at 5 speed. His Tequila archers are 4.5 speed as he doesn't have the speedy upgrade that some of the other gods have access to. But he is going to drop his one big source of healing, the Agave Bloom. Basically a healing spring for a powerful healing spring for a short amount of time. And that is going to send Pegasus packing the other way. And there is an armory up from, I imagine I'm on Soup's perspective. Yes, I am. He's on a market was the noise. Dropping a market. So potentially thinking about it. But I think he's just content spamming units. Ocelot warriors, Kiwa archers. And the villagers will move over here. The relic monkeys will greet them. I believe the villagers can just turn around and shank. Maybe one of them will go down. Relic monkey should have stayed there. 6 HP. Going up to 7 now. Thanks to the little bit of regen. The caribou, the decay on animals is really slow. He killed these things like ages ago, but always worth hanging around because they lost about 50% of their food. Our temple upgrades, we've got frost giants with their nice hats on, which gives them 931 HP. I still can't get over this. What a wild buff to give just myth units more HP in general, but then the frost giants specifically probably one of the best myth units in the entire game anyway. I think the Valkyrie and the Frost Giant are, like, both insane myth units. That's why I was confused why Norse was slept on for so long. But here we go. That's nonetheless. Anyway, Teslas over here are going to be on the receiving end of these Berserks. I don't imagine any of these get out. Obviously, these ones at the top side should. But Pegasus not paying attention. He should have been able to get over here with a little bit of a wall. But anyway, doesn't matter. He got a massive amount of damage there. They were equal. So 5 villagers goes down. And yet, normally, without Odin Berserks, these bunnies would be a great counter, but we said these do have a tiny little bonus versus myth units, which doesn't matter if you have probably like equal numbers or even double. If you've got 13 against 3 myth units, you're going to be having a pretty nice time if you are Pegasus. And we have next stage coming in for Soup is going to be the Star Demon Lady. God, I've lost my cheat sheet, or I can't remember where it is. Koyol Shoki or something along those lines. I need to remember how to say some of the longer ones, or at least give them a nickname, like Melina has a nickname. Definitely need to do something along those lines. And Soup did go for the next stage plus town center, so he did kind of listen to what I thought, and he is doing his patented strat, which is cow pulley at the back, move the livestock pen to the back, and grab your double farm upgrade, because the Aztecs only have 2 farm upgrades, whereas everyone else has 3. But their second one basically has the second and third in it together. And the Star Demon does get dropped down. There's no Frost as a counter to kind of get away from this. So Pegasus is standing and fighting, but there's going to be 3 Tits Middles spawning in. And the Tequila Archers in the backside doing a pretty decent job. Tits Middle should be able to kind of deal with the Huskarls while Tequila Archers go backwards. Throwing Axemen, though, on the front, dealing with the Ocelotter Warriors so easy. But how many heroes are there for Pegasus? There aren't any. Are there any heroes in for Soup? No, there's no heroes on either side. So Myth Unit's going to be playing a big role. Would be worth taking out that Frost Giant, 75 HP. Then leave this one on his own. And that is going to be enough for Pegasus to retreat. But all in all, a pretty equal fight there, I would say. And that is a big god power down for Soup. Considering he did get the 3 units coming in. He didn't have the upgrade, though, which does make them a little bit stronger. So maybe that would have been a bit of a changing point if he would have had that upgrade. Maybe just a few more throwing axemen could have gone down. But the Agave Bloom is here. The bunnies can heal up on berries, but I think this map... Oh, no, it does have some berries. Though it's Tundra, so it only has Hunt, but it does have berries, so it would be worth just getting over there. Maybe that's where the crew are off to. While Soup's going to go back, he is getting his upgrade. For these... Oh, he didn't have this upgrade. He didn't even have his rabbit upgrade. These guys can get even stronger. Oh, he didn't want to go. I thought surely he goes over. I think you can eat your own farms as well if that's what he wants to go for. Anyway. Huskarl Raid's going to be on the cards for Pegasus now. As he has grabbed himself... No, he hasn't. I was going to say he's grabbed himself a town center. That's his starting one. I thought that's what he was going to do. But no. He is not fancying that. Well, that's what these players do when they sit back. He could be going for some Mythic Age, maybe. Maybe that's the idea. Or he's just massing up a whole bunch of units, just thinking about it. Thinking about it for a little bit isn't the worst idea. Has been a big engagement. You can think about what you want to do, especially after a relatively equal trade, you would like to think, from the Odin perspective. And the Huskarl's trying to get some damage done. If they can take out the Warrior Priest here, I'd be very, very happy. But doesn't want to sacrifice their lives to do so. And the Pegasus Huskarls do manage to get out of there. Ocelotter Warriors not quick enough, but this is just a lot of distraction while this is going on. He also did spot what's going on. These are kind of there to scout and try and get away with their lives. Great Temple is trying to come up from Soup, but Pegasus definitely going to be putting a stop to this one. I think he needs just as many Huskarls as he can really muster up against this Tequila Archer backline, or going into, like he's doing, the Jarls with the Thundering Hooves is also a good option, just because they tank against pretty much everything that Soup is building, or it is everything that Soup's building right now. The only big counter are the Spearmen, which Soup hasn't built any of yet because he's spamming different units. Anyway, throwing Axemen, doing pretty well on this side, but in come all the rabbits. And the Goaties are more than ready for these guys. Pegasus definitely prepared. Thorstein, the White, and crew going to be scaring those off. But the Tequila Archers, they're not really being touched. Just think about how much damage these guys have done. 32 kills, 33 kills, 4k damage, and some of them did go down as well. This backline for Soup has just been ridiculous. And this is what upgrades they even have. They have this infusion, so they get a little bit of HP, a little bit more hit points from one of the relics, but nothing crazy. It isn't like he's gone Melina, where you get the poison upgrade, or he's, I think it's Hui Hui that gives you the speed for the Tequila Archers. Hasn't got any of those, and this is the upgrade we're talking about. Getting the special farms. I can see them come in and have the nice farms that are going to be very, very strong. I think Soup does need to get some more buildings, though. He's got 2 of each building, which he's probably had the same buildings for the last kind of 12 minutes. You can see he's got 6 here, 3, 3, 5. Definitely needs to get a few more of those going. But I'm sure they will be on the way very, very shortly. Great Temple going to be a great defense up against Pegasus. Pegasus needs to grab something to take out that Great Temple if he wants to carry on the aggression on this side. And that is what he's doing. He's going for the portable rams, but maybe at this point kind of overstepping. And he's not grabbing himself a second town center when Soup is on one. So Soup's eco just going to get slightly further ahead, just constantly here, especially with this farming operation. It's actually ridiculous. Soup did make a video on this, if you want to check it out, of how much food this does give you, this Cowpurley livestock pen, and you know the amount of turkeys that spawn and things. It's pretty wild. It's going to be Tyr coming through for Pegasus, so it does want to get some kind of damage done on the eco, and also just get to the next stage, gets champion upgrades in, that sort of stuff. Could even, with the amount of food that he's not spending, because he's kind of going for wood-based units mostly until the Jarl started to come in, but he could spend those that food and favor on Fenris Wolf Broods if he wants to go for that. I don't know how good that is up against Soup and his Aztecs though, but it's just something to bear in mind. Pegasus trying to get through. Great Temple will go down, because there's no hack damage units here. There's one Warrior Priest, one Spearman. If the Goaties and the Throwing Axemen just hit those down, then the portable rams just go to town. I think Soup kind of overbuilding the archers. Maybe he's just building them as if he's doesn't have any units out and he's making his comp, but the archers just are not dying. He doesn't need to build any more, and now he does realize he doesn't need to build any more. Only food-based frontline units to come through. And now that's going on, of course, the Tequila Archers are starting to slowly fall. And Slaylock is going to be pre-queued, but it's a little bit away. Tits Middle's coming through as well. The tier actually isn't quite through. 24 on gold, but Pegasus just spamming the position here while this is going on. Soup does manage to secure himself another gold mine. So even though the defensive structure's gone on this one, there's only 1k gold left in it, and he has secured himself another one. Or at least he's got a Great Temple on it. It's not fully secured. You know, you wouldn't mind some walls on it or something. Even this town center wouldn't be a bad idea, but basically, you've got a place for your villagers to retreat into. 20 spaces, 17 villagers. They're going to be fine until the boys get over there to defend it. And the tier is on the way. Hand axe as well from Pegasus. This is like me, a classic 23-minute hand axe upgrade. And Slaylock going to be on the way. Slaylock doesn't care about that, actually. If you don't research any upgrades, he is a happy man, because you get a big gold income from everything that you research after that comes through. And you can just see the turkeys here. 11 turkeys. Just from this farming operation that's getting you a decent amount of food income anyway. You see, he's got a lot to research, so he'll be happy with that one. And Pegasus, what is he doing now? He is going around and dropping longhouses on the gold mine. This is something that you can do with every civ technically, but with Norse, it just feels very, very strong. I think he will notice this one and will probably put a stop to it, or just he does notice it, gets out of range of the Great Temple, and he's actually going to have more berserks build longhouses here just to put some pressure on this gold mine right here. Because Soup, he's only secured the one. This one's kind of close, I guess. It's like semi-secured. He is going to go for the town center. Makes sense. Will also have himself the Pillar of Slaylock, which he could drop down to defend this gold mine if he really wants to. Could be a nice option instead of going on the aggression. And I think the Berserks might actually... I was going to say they might win this fight, but actually not up against the Great Temple. Great Temple does too much damage. And Soup's going to rotate his whole army across, apart from one Tits Middle on the backside. Look how much damage she does to those villagers. It's absolutely crazy. They don't have survival equipment, so they could be stronger. They would survive an extra hit with that upgrade in. But still, if there's no response, no reaction, no response, then she's going to walk away with 7 kills. Oof. Winter in whenever he wants it. Maybe he's going to have an attack with it. So bring the units through, get up to full population, drop the Fimbulwinter. Does make sense. I don't mind that play. Most people just drop it straight away, but I do respect the play. But Soup with his eco is just so far ahead now. After those raids, he's been on the extra town center for longer. Pegasus now grabbing town centers, but Soup's eco just been working overtime. Now the Slaylock upgrade coming in as well. Fimbulwinter coming, and it is going to be a Frost. That's a pretty wild Frost. I do like that, because now we can just come forward, take out the main base. Fimbulwinter going to be able to take out the town center, deal with any units that come through, especially this farming operation that's in the backside. Does Pegasus know about it? Yes, he does, because he see all the Fimbulwinter wolves are here, at least one. And of course, the Raven was there. He might have even casted it there, would have made sense, so that it definitely spawns on this town center versus the other ones. And the unit's going to be coming back here. And what does Soup do as a response to this? You just have to run away. It's a little bit rough because there's nowhere to really run to. And the pillar, the Slaylock's pillar, is going to come down. I don't know. I don't mind that, because you need siege to take this thing out. If you have normal units, they just die to the big water spouts. So it's kind of just a defense on this farming operation. I kind of like it. Where are all the units for Pegasus? Did they just get cleared up? I think they were just getting cleared up. There wasn't actually that many, really. They were just kind of raiding. They obviously took the town center down. Going to lose a few that way. But Soup's ones, as soon as they got unfrozen, there's just so many of them. He's got full population. He's coming down to the bottom side. He's built a great temple on this gold mine, which is a really sneaky play while this is all going on. While he's not getting distracted. Making sure to always be on the aggression as well. And you can see how well his eco's doing. How many buildings does he have? Does he still have the 2? No, he still has 2 nobles huts. He's got 12 war huts. But he wants to build Ocelot warriors. So might need to build a few more. But he is in a commanding position right now, with just the sheer amount of units he has. It's kind of wild. And he should just get them all in one place and attack if he wants to make the most of this big wall of units. Bird water coming in, so that'll deal with the Berserks wanting to attack the Great Temple. It will be sent away. And Pegasus just trying to get something done, but I think he's just lost too much, and especially the big eco drop down here. He's lost a little bit too much in this game, and Soup realizes the position that he's in, and this is such an aggressive god power, but to know that you need to use it defensively is like a big kind of tempo situation. I kind of like, you got to respect that. Fortified town centers coming through as well. So Soup's population, he's going to be able to get through a few of these. What's his armory situation here? He just needs to spam out his upgrades. Sort of thing that I do. Sit there on loads of resources and don't buy the upgrades. But I think it doesn't matter regardless, I think. Legendary Jarls are in those. So champion forces on Pegasus' side, but the numbers don't lie. There's just so many numbers. Any heroes in for Soup? No, he could go for that sort of play where he gets all the heroes to sacrifice them, get the incarnate of Quetzalcoatl go in, but doesn't need it at the moment. Or thinks he doesn't need it. I think it could be a nice swing. Definitely needs to get some sort of siege weapon in or something to start dealing some damage. There's still just so many Tequila archers. Now they are champion. And I guess you could just get Burning Pitch and they'll do something against the town center. Maybe Rat Boy is just good against it. Or there is going to be actually one Sean one. Is there a smasher? It sounds like there's someone smashing. Now the incarnate's in. Here he is. Quetzalcoatl incarnate himself going to be coming forward. And that should be a town center for Soup whenever he wants to grab it. Just come forward. Why not? This legendary Jarl, he's trying up against that wall. But the wall is proven to be a little bit too much for him. And the gold mine. You're always in a game of Age of Mythology if you have a gold mine. But if you get pushed off a gold mine, you're in a little bit of a troubled time. Kind of wild game. Went for the bunny strat, even against all the hearses. Bunnies turned out to be pretty good, to be honest. And Super just showing up with his Aztecs. You gotta love it.